to Social Stack, your go-to channel for social media marketing tips and tricks based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we're going to be talking about those apps that are vital to you so that when you're in between appointments and on the go, you can still make use of that time and work on your marketing as needed instead of having to sit down at a desktop computer. And today we're going to do a little bit of masterminding too, because there's tons of apps out there. So as people have suggestions about apps they like to use, we're opening it up to let everybody share about their experiences as well. So let's get started. I actually have a fun little way to share my phone screen on Zoom here. So give me 1 second and I'm going to mirror my screen and then we'll share that so that you guys can all see it. Whoops. Helps if I know my password. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, do you guys see it looks like a little iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and mirror that. Uh-oh, it's not showing up. Let me close it and reopen it. I tested it out before we started. Now it doesn't want to cooperate. Don't you love technology, guys? All right, let's try this again. There it is. When in doubt, just restart, right? Okay, so now you guys, you see my phone? All my apps and everything?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me open the chat so I can see if anybody has questions as they type them up here. This is nice. I can see everything I want today. All right. So some of the things I said that we could talk about with these apps were graphics, hashtags, analytics, and scheduling. So I use a variety of different apps for different things. I have a ton of apps on my phone, some I haven't used in a while. So I'm going to start with the ones that, I use a lot because they're my favorites and I think you might like them too. If you guys are interested in learning more about something, you just let me know if I have it. I'm happy to open it up and give you a peek inside. I figure graphics are one of the things that people do a lot on the go. So I was going to start with that. Does that sound good to everybody? Yeah.
Sounds good.
All
Yeah.
right. So you guys can you see my mouse on your end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have a whole folder full of graphics. So I'm just going to different graphic apps. The ones I use the most are these first three here: Typorama, Canva, and Font Candy. So I'm just going to talk about what some of the differences are. Does anybody here use Canva already? You can unmute or you can type in the chat. Just let me know. Yes,
I do.
Amy, this is Erica. I have a question. The apps you're using, are they free?
Yeah, so I'll go over that as we're going through all of them. The ones I want to share with you guys are free apps. I do have some that are paid, like Ripple here. You can see I haven't used it in a while. Ripple used to be free. It's now a paid app, but it's a really cool app. So it looks like there's lots of people on here that use Canva. So that's awesome. Let's go ahead and start with that since you guys are familiar already. I love, love, love using Canva on the desktop. However, they do have an app, which is nice if you are looking to kind of like update something while you're on the road. I don't love it for actually creating content, but let's go ahead and open that. And you can see they have all of their templates are still in there. So if you're looking to start from scratch on your phone, I definitely recommend using one of their templates versus one of these blank ones at the top, because it's a little harder to use in the app. But what I do like is that we can go to designs and we can actually get any of the designs that we've already worked on. So it's a nice way to store all of that. And you could just, so like here's our new ALC. Yes. And if I wanted to share that on social media, I could just hit the little share button. And you can see where I can save it or share it to. Or I can hit the button next to it, that download button. And it's going to save to my phone, and then I can go manually post it anywhere I want to, as long as I have that on my phone. And there's going to be lots of ads because it's a free app. What do you guys think about that? Has anybody used it for that before? One of the things I do like about Canva is that you can animate your graphics and you can make videos too. So you can actually make them on the computer and then download them through the app on your phone and upload it directly to Instagram because you know you can't do that on a desktop. So that's nice that you don't have to post it to Facebook and then like screen record and then upload it to Instagram. So you can download it right through the app and then upload it to Instagram from here. Any questions on that? You guys are quiet today. Okay, so another one that I like is Typorama. So this one is just for static images. And I just have the free version on my phone. You can see that you can absolutely upgrade it to a pro version if you want to. But what I like about this one is that you can go to their photos. You can see they have stock images, or you can go to your own photos on your phone. So if you're out and about and you took a photo of something and you're like, this is great, I'm going to go post it, but maybe I want to add some text to it or something, I can go ahead and tap my photos and you can see all of the photos in your camera roll. So like, let's say I wanted to post something about our family reunion that's coming up here. You can see I have my picture already in there. And if I do need to resize it, I can scroll through all of the different template sizes at the bottom. Look, I can even make something for my watch. Isn't that kind of fun? So you have all sorts of different templates. It'll auto size it for you. And then you just hit next when you're ready to go. And you can add more text to it. So you can put that wherever you want. You can pinch in and out with your fingers to resize it. You can spin it. And you can do all kinds of different things wherever you want it. And then you can also see at the bottom, I'm going to kind of scroll, there's different styles of text. So you can see some of them are pro, so you would need to pay for the upgrade to have access to those. But there's a lot of different styles that are free. They're just part of the basic version. And if I tap on one, I'm going to tap on that one with the umbrella, it's just going to update whatever text I have in there. And then I can resize it again if I want to, move it around. Now that image that I tapped, so you see that there was an umbrella in it, but that's not what populated on the screen. So if I keep tapping through that little umbrella icon, you can see it's going to give me different options that match the style that I'm clicking on. So it's not just the one, so here's like some Halloween ones. It's not just the one you see on the screen. You can get some different types of font collections. And then you can also choose your colors. So obviously the white looks really nice on this one, but let's say I wanted to change it. You have all these color options you can change. You can even do some shadowing and gradients. Isn't that kind of fun? So you can do a lot of different stuff with adding the text through.
Is there a desktop version for that one?
I have not run into a desktop version for this one. That doesn't mean it's not out there. I've only ever used it on my phone. I never really checked to see if there was one on the desktop.
Okay.
You could probably Google it. And then you can, share when you're ready, and you can share it right to one of the platforms, or you can save it to your phone and then manually post it as well. You can also, email is an option on there. And look at that. They have Videorama too. So that's a new app that they have. I haven't played around with it much, but I knew it was out there. So I'm guessing you can do the same type of stuff with video for them. So check that one out. Okay, so that one's primarily, like I said, for static images. And there's some other fun features, but those are like the main ones that I like to point out for that one. Really easy to use, super friendly. I'm pretty sure it's available on Android as well. The other one I want to point out today is Font Candy. So this one is good. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot to share one really cool thing about Typorama. Let's open that back up. We're just going to back out of this. No, I don't need to save that design. So that was my photo that I loaded in there. You can see they have this option for stock images. So if you don't have a picture, but maybe you have a cool quote that you want to share, or you just have a message you want to get out there and you don't already have a picture to go with it, you can tap on their stock images and see like there's a ton of stuff in here. And this rotates through. So right now it's, you know, it's winter. So they've got some winter ones at the top for us. But we could search real estate, see what happens. And look at all these buildings, houses. Maybe you want to say something about a dog. I don't know. Oops, not a sog. What's that? Look at all these cute little puppy photos. So these are all free stock photos that you guys can use. And then you can just layer your text right on top of that. Maybe you could even do like an emotion. I haven't tried this. We're going to see what happens. There we go. Present. Look, she looks surprised, right? And then maybe that goes with what you're, you know, sharing out to the world, and you can put your little text right on top of that. So that was something else I wanted to show you about this app, because those are free stock images. They're good quality. Any questions about Typorama? Okay, because I'm using the free part, it is going to put that Typorama watermark on it. Oh, I see a couple of questions came in the chat. Let me see. Great, cool. Will you tell us how? Oh yeah, Patty. Patty asked if I could share how I am mirroring my screen like this, so I can show you this app that I'm using right now. And Lena, thank you. Typorama is on Android. Great. I thought it was. I didn't know for sure. I've had an iPhone since they came out, so I'm not really sure sometimes on which apps are on which platforms. But yeah, okay, so that sounds good. I think I got all the Typorama questions, so I'm going to close that out. Go ahead and open Font Candy. And the reason I like this one is because you can actually do some animations with it. So let's go ahead again. We're looking at, you know, the pictures on my phone. Okay, so these Bernie memes have been really popular, right? Cold Bernie. I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I like this one. Again, we have that option to format it for whichever platform we want to go to. I think this one looks good for Instagram, so I'm going to stick with that. And then we have the same type of thing we saw in Typorama, where we have the text that we can move around, rotate, you know, make bigger, smaller. You can change the colors. If you look all the way at the bottom here, we've got our color wheel. So we can change the different colors and the opacity. Maybe you don't want it, you want the text to fade a little, right? You can do that. And our different templates. So if you want that type of look, you can do that. So you can see there's lots of different, this one's cute, right? So once you're all happy with that, let's add some color. I don't know what I feel like today. That green looks nice. All right, so once you're happy with your text in there, when I tap on it, do you guys see this little play button right here? Look at that. Now it's animated. Isn't that fun? And then you can put it wherever you want. So this happened to be two different pieces, the box and the text. Whoops, I didn't mean to unselect that. So I could make the box animated too. And then you have the same options where if you tap that send, you can see at the bottom here, I have video or GIF. So it depends on how you want to share it. You just pick that option. Carly, it's Font Candy. Patty says, put Bernie in your open house. Good idea. So far we've looked at Typorama and Font Candy. I don't need to save that. Do you guys want to see anything else on this one? See, we have different filters on there. So you just kind of play around with it. They're always releasing new features for these apps too. So there's probably stuff in here that I'm not even aware of. So I'm just going to close out of this one. The big difference on this is, so Typorama has great stock images, but it's all static. They do have that new app I haven't played with a lot, the Videorama one. And then this is Font Candy, and this is the one where you can actually kind of add little animations to your text. However, they don't have stock images. You have to provide the image. So those are some of my favorites for graphics. And then obviously I was telling you Canva. Like I said, I don't really like to design on the app on Canva, but it's great to have all of your stuff right at your fingertips for anything you've already worked on. So those are the three I use the most. You guys want to see some non-graphic stuff that I can share you for on the go? Share with you? I have obviously
Sure.
tons of graphic stuff in here. All right, so I'm going to come down to my folder down here. I'm going to click that pink one that's hashtag expert. Who uses hashtags in their business when they're doing social media? Anybody? I see a couple hands up. Okay. Okay, so this one I'm on the free version, so every time I log in, it wants me to like sign up, just so you're aware. You do not have to do that. Just wait for that little X to pop up in the top right and you can close out of it and have access to it. So for those of you who aren't using hashtags, why not? Are you not using them, or do you not know how? Do you just not know what to put? Why don't you use them? Anybody? Does that mean you all use them? I only saw one hand. Okay. So I'm going to assume that you're all using them. Okay. So do you guys ever run into the struggle where you're like, man, I know I need to be using hashtags, but I just don't know which ones to use right now. How do I find like what? I know I want to do something about real estate, but what's a good real estate hashtag? So this is a good free app for that type of stuff. And I want to point out at the top, we have different platforms too. So you can look through what's good for different platforms as well. If you guys, I see that Darlene said she uses them, but ran into a challenge with which ones to use sometimes. Just so you guys know, I do have a fun little video specifically on hashtags and how to use them on my channel too. So if you want to dig into that a little more, it's probably about a 15-minute video all about hashtags. But so pick the platform you want to go with. Instagram is very hashtag heavy, so it's defaulted to that one. But let's say we want to do something about real estate. You're going to type it just like you would type the hashtag, so no spaces. All right, so I'm putting in real estate. I'm going to hit done, and I'm just going to hit generate hashtags. And it's taking a little bit to load. Here we go. So here are a ton of suggestions for real estate hashtags that are all grouped and ready to go for you. Now you can see we can check different things on here. Like we can edit, we can use that edit button. If maybe there's a couple we don't want, we can hit edit. Performance. So this is going to be a pro feature, but if it is something you value, you want to know how well they're performing and get some analytics, you can upgrade this app and get more information on the performance of those specific hashtags. So if that's part of your marketing strategy and that's something you really want to look into and have easily available on the go, you should check out that feature, okay? But if you're just using the free app, this is still going to give you tons of ideas. And you can just hit the 3 little dots there. Nope, I lied. There we go. Not now, hashtag. And so you just tap the section you want. It's always going to ask you for your rating. And that's now copied to my clipboard. So then when I go to paste somewhere, that's all already put together for me. I don't have to type all of that stuff out. Isn't that cool? It's a nice little feature. The other thing you can do, so I chose generate hashtags. If I do hand pick hashtags, again, it's going to clarify that real estate is what I'm looking for at the top here, but now all these are individual hashtags. So I can pick and choose which ones I want. Marketing, right? Renovation, home sweet home. So I can choose them this way and then hit add hashtags. And then I can
enter your own as well.
What was that?
Can you enter ones of your own as well when you're doing the hand picking?
You know, I've never actually used it for that. Let's try mine. I have a couple of my own. So let's see what happens. I don't know that it'll search anything. Whoops. I can't even type. There are apps, I haven't really used a lot of them, but there are apps that you can like store hashtag lists in them, so you can put your own custom ones in there. That might be a pro feature on this one.
Okay.
Let's see. This is my hashtag for my business. Yeah, I kind of thought that would happen. Nothing came out. That's okay. And that's because it's not related to anything because it's me specifically. It's mine. And then Patty, you also asked a good question in the chat. Should we be using this instead of keeping a list of hashtags in your notes? I think that both of them are good tools to have ready to go. This app is really good to help you come up with things that, you know, you're on the spot and you're like, I just don't know what to do. That doesn't mean that you can't make a list in here and then save that on your phone for things that you want to use all the time. So like love is the most used hashtag on Instagram. And if I tap on that, I got impatient. There we go. Look at all of these different love ones. Now, if I don't want to have to come and search through these every time, that's when you can do that, generate, handpick the hashtags. So I'm on handpick now. And let's say whenever I'm using love, I want to use love, and I want to use I love my dog and dog lover and small business, right? So those are my 4 that I want to use for sure. Add the hashtags. Here's my little list. I can go ahead and copy my hashtags. And then I have a notes app on my phone, so I can just start a note for my hashtags and keep them all in there, paste it right in that notes app. So then you don't have to go through that process every time. I believe the upgraded version of this does have a way to store those lists in the app itself. But if you don't want the paid one, you can just save them in your notes on your phone. Any questions about that? If you were to use the Pro feature that displays the popularity, do you have a rule of thumb for what you would pick? Elizabeth, can you say more? What do you mean by that? Like, do you mean how do I choose which popular ones?
I guess what I'm kind of trying to say is you don't want to choose the most popular one if it's like say real estate based and hit way outside your market and have it. If you wanted, I guess if you wanted to target more in your area that you were looking
Oh,
to.
okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so definitely take a look at the hashtag.
Stumbling over my words, sorry.
But that's okay. Definitely, it's a great question. And I definitely think you should take a look at that video I mentioned earlier. I think it's just called Let's Talk Hashtags. But to quickly touch on that, you do actually want to have a variety of hashtags that you're using, and you want a variety of popularities. So like I said, love is the most widely used hashtag, but you wouldn't want to only use super popular tags like that because that's such a big audience. Like if somebody searches hashtag love, there's like millions of things that will come up. How are they going to find you? How are you going to stick out in that? But on the other side, if I'm only using the social hashtag, how is anybody ever going to find me? Does that make sense?
Right. Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
So you want to use a mix of them. You want to change them up every time. You don't always want to use the same exact hashtags because then you're only reaching the same audience. But you do, especially with us, you guys are local. You want to start using some geographical hashtags. So use, hashtag Downers Grove, hashtag Morton Arboretum. Oh, my phone fell asleep. Stuff like that. But take a look on my channel. Look for that video. It's called Let's Talk Hashtags. And
Okay, thank you again.
yeah, absolutely. Great question. I got to reshare. Give me 1 second. Oh, I might have to close and reopen. Okay, so while I'm doing this, Patty asked what I was doing to share my phone screen, and it's an app called A Power. So the letter A, the word power, and the word mirror. A Power Mirror. And you just install it on your computer and install it on your phone. And you have to be on the same Wi-Fi. So you do have to have Wi-Fi to use it. And you can use it for Android or iPhone or even a TV. You can cast from a TV.
Can you use it with iPad too?
I've never tried. I would think yes, because it's with the iOS, which the iPad's the same system. So I would think yes. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. And if you guys look at the bottom, can you see that it's got that little blue square with the kind of mountain looking thing? So that's the app you're looking for, A Power Mirror.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. was a great segue, and let me reload my my screen. Obviously, if your phone falls asleep, then the sharing is going to fall asleep too. So we talked about hashtag analytics. Who studies their analytics? I'm going to open my chat back up because it closed. I see some hands. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. Now, this is going to kind of get into some nitty gritty details because it's going to vary a lot for per person depending on what systems you're using. So I think most of us here have Facebook business pages. It sounds like a lot of us are on Instagram too. Does that sound right? I see some nods. Yeah. Okay. Then what I want to show you is right in the middle of my screen, that business suite. This is the new version of the page of, if you guys used Pages before on Facebook, this is what replaced it. But it will give you Facebook and Instagram analytics as long as you have your business pages and profiles set up. I never get rid of these tours because I always think there's fun stuff in there to go through. But you can see I have mine hooked up to the social stack. You can see at the top it's hooked up to Facebook and Instagram. And I can actually publish right from here if I want to. I typically don't do that. But you can see here's my recent post. So this is my post about our class right now. You see there's 18 shares on it and over 1,900 people reached. I can see all posts and go through and see my feed. Let's go back to the home screen. If I've run any ads, I will have all of my ad analytics right here. And then as we scroll down, you can see I have all my page and Instagram analytics. Look at, I'm up 26% on my page reach this week in the last 28 days. You can see right here, it's where it lists how long, the time frame. And I'm up 120% on my Instagram, how many likes I have, followers, right? And then I can go ahead and hit see all insights and I can get a lot more details. So I'm on trends, I can go to content, and I can even get audience insights. So let's see, it looks like I am woman heavy. You guys like me. So I'm 75-25 pretty much with my ratio of men to women. You can see what towns, this is no surprise, these are all the towns my offices are in and where my agents live.
So if you had that information about you being 75-25 with women, you could then gear your marketing in such a way that you would use that to your advantage, right?
Yeah, so there's two things you can do. You can decide if you want to keep going with that specific demographic and curtail, like make all of your stuff geared towards women. Or I can say, that is a big opportunity for me to get more followers if I kind of steer it more towards a male demographic. Well, then I can get them to follow as well. So it depends on if you want to keep going after the same audience and build a niche that's specifically for women, or if I'm looking to expand into the male demographic, that's an opportunity for me. So again, it depends on what your goal is. But yes, that is definitely something you can tell from here. And you can see I can also change my date. So this was December through January. So, that's the 28 days, but I can open that up and I can see just 1 day, 7 days. I can do a custom date range. So this is a really nice tool. You don't have to pay for this as long as you have those business pages and business profiles set up. You have access to this app, and you can see there's all my, if I want to turn them on and off, I can do that as well. And I can actually get to my messenger through there. And you can see there's more settings you can play around with and get into more features in that bottom right-hand corner. And I can see any comments that have been made on my posts. And I don't have to hunt all over Facebook and Instagram to see them, to see how is this post performing. I can just pull up this comment and see, oh, Wendy posted on, she commented on this post, Bobby commented on this post, right? And I don't have to go, like if I shared this to 10 different spots, I don't now have to go to those 10 spots to see who's commenting on them. You guys find
Can you reply straight from there?
I haven't done it. Let's find out. Yes, you can. Good
That's cool.
question. I had assumed yes, but I didn't. I hadn't actually tried it. So yeah, you can definitely just type right in there. You can see there's lots of there's extra stuff up here. You know, you can click through all these different things to see, you know, what features you have. You can search, you can, you know, mark all your stuff as red. Yeah, so just play around with that. I'm going to close it so you guys can see it again. It's this one in the middle. It's just called Business Suite. If you used to have Pages or Page Manager, this replaced it. This is what the new Facebook updates that came out. The other thing I want to show you is called Buffer. Now there's lots of things like Buffer out there. Buffer is what I use to do my post scheduling. And I can share you guys some links for this stuff. If you want to see, hang on, let me see what I have pulled up over here. Oh, I think I have a lot of more video links that I can share with you. But I have, what am I trying to say? So I use Buffer as a third-party scheduler. So like for my office, we're running, you know, marketing on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, a business page. We, you know, schedule things to our office. We have a private group for our agents in our office. So we use Buffer to help schedule all of that ahead of time because I'm using so many platforms. If you guys are just using Facebook, you can schedule all of that through command if you're with Keller Williams, and then it's nice because everything's all in one spot for you, and you can actually load your designs from designs right into that scheduler as well. But if you are looking for something a little more robust that will let you do multiple platforms, I have to close my screen again, sorry guys. Buffer is what I'm using. There's a ton of different ones out there and they all do different things. So it depends. I'm not going to tell you which one to use because it really depends on what platforms you are wanting to post to and what functionality you want. So if you have questions about that, I'm happy to chat about that today too. But I want to show you, they'll all have, typically they all have an app like this. Oops. Can you see my whole screen or just my phone? What do you guys see right now?
Whole
Your
screen,
desktop
I think.
and yeah, like your whole screen with your phone too.
Oh, yeah. It's probably, you guys see it bigger when it's just the phone, right? It's easier to see. Like
Have
this.
you used Loomly?
Say it again?
Loomly, Loomly.
I've used Loom, but not Loomly.
Okay. I'll wait until I see you go through Buffer and see if it's
Okay.
similar.
Oh, I don't know why it turned. That's weird. You guys can see that okay though?
It looks like a super phone.
Yeah, I'm holding it upright, but it's showing this way. That's okay. Doesn't matter. So anywho, any of these third-party scheduling apps, if they don't have an app like this, I would say it's probably not the best one. You want one that also has functionality on your phone. So there we go. So I have Buffer, that's the third-party scheduler I use. And then I can come in here. Oh, it's still doing that. That's all right. And I can go and I can see if I want to post something. Oh, it's not mirroring my screen. Dang. Well, that was kind of a bust. I see different things on my phone than you're seeing right now. So let's try it one more time. No, it's still not doing it. All right. What about analytics? Nothing? Okay, well, just kidding. I'm not going to show you Buffer.
Now it's showing your phone. Oh, it was showing your phone for a second.
It was, yeah, but it wasn't showing it when it was open. It was showing just an empty. So it's showing my phone, right? You see my apps, and then I open Buffer, and you see like the blank Buffer screen, right? You don't see anything.
Yeah.
But then if I'm in analytics right now, and I can see a whole bunch of stuff on my phone. I don't know if you can.
Doesn't want you to give away the secrets.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay. So basically, what I showed you with that business suite, you can do that type of stuff across all of the platforms that you have linked to your third-party publishing system. So some of them, so Instagram, for example, is is real finicky about who they let auto post to their feed and what you can auto post. So like I like Buffer because I can post videos through Buffer to Instagram automatically. I can also do static images, and I do have the option to do galleries. However, if I post a gallery on my third-party site, if I schedule it on my desktop, I will get a notification on my Buffer app that tells me your post is ready, and I go ahead and open it, and all I have to do is hit paste, and then it goes. So there's a little bit of a manual touch. And a lot of those third-party schedulers, not all of them, but a lot of them, you have to do that with Instagram no matter what. You have to have that manual touch. So that's why I like Buffer, because it does feed over one image, a single image, and a video automatically. I don't need that physical touch to it. So that's why I use that one. But the things I was showing you with the analytics and the comments and all of that, any of those third-party schedulers, you'll have access to all of that online, but through their app, you should also have access to do that and, you know, check up on the comments and your likes and engagement and stuff like that too. So I'm sorry that that mirroring wasn't working on that one, but those were the main ones I wanted to show you. Do you guys have any apps that you really like that you'd like to share, or do you have questions about other things that maybe we could talk about along the lines of this? And then Darlene, I saw in the chat, you said, which tool was this? I'm sorry, I just noticed that. Was that the one I was just on, or the previous one? Here, so I've talked about, start typing into the chat. We showed you, let's see, Typorama.
All good.
Okay. So we did Typorama and Font Candy and Canva. And we did the business suite for Facebook and Instagram. And then I tried to show you Buffer, but it wasn't cooperating. I do have a cool little app. If you guys don't have questions, I have, Instagram has some cool add-ons. You guys can like do picture collages. You can do boomerangs. You can do hyperlapse videos. Is anybody familiar with Boomerang?
No,
So,
I don't know what a hyperlapse video is either.
it's a time lapse. It's a time lapse video. Yeah. So a boomerang, you guys know what an actual boomerang is, right? You throw it and it comes back, a little triangle shaped thing. Have you guys seen those videos? I guess that they're more like GIFs where, you know, people they cheers, they clink their glasses, and it just like happens over and over, or somebody's waving and it like, those are boomerangs. That's all that is. So let me reshare my phone.
Is that Instagram only?
I'm sure there's other apps to do it, but the app Boomerang is part of Instagram. But I think there's other ways to do it. Like there's a lot of apps that you can just make GIFs with, and that would essentially be the same thing. Let's see if we can share this. All right, you guys see my phone screen again?
Yes.
Oh, here's all my fun little Instagram-y stuff. Okay, so Boomerang right here, it looks like the little infinity symbol. Oh, look at, I see you guys. So if the key to Boomerang is you do an action in one direction. So you don't want to go like this. You just want to whoop the one time. Because what it's going to do is take a series of a bunch of real quick shots, and then it's going to stitch them all together and run it forwards and backwards. So if I see how it's just repeating over and over, even though I only set my hand the one way, that's how that works. And then you can see on this one, it's letting us post directly to Instagram or Facebook, or I can hit that more and get some more options. I don't want to save that. But that's what Boomerang is, and you can flip it. Hi. And then the hyperlapse one, no thanks, it's a time lapse video. So I don't know how to best display this. I wonder if there's like a car out. Here's my nice little view here. Oh, nobody's driving around. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go like this. And we can see I'm recording. We'll do a couple of seconds. See how it says 7 seconds, 8 seconds? That's my real time on the left, but then on the right, it's only at 1 or 2. So it's gonna process that. See how that's faster than what I was, look at. This is making me dizzy. I'm gonna turn that off. But like, let's say you had a client appreciation event and you just wanted to set up a phone in the background and like kind of watch everything that was going on throughout the night, you could record the whole thing. Or if you're doing some staging or some rental work on a property, you could do a hyperlapse video on it to show your clients what you do and the effort you put in to staging your homes and getting them ready for the market. So those are a couple other things you could do with that. You can obviously do lots of fun stuff too if you're doing DIY projects, all kinds of good applications.
What is Lively?
I haven't used this one in a long time. We'll load it. What else can we talk about? Well, that's loading. Has anybody ever used PicStitch or the collages? This will let you load in a bunch of different pictures.
Oh, and it puts it together for
And
you.
yeah, exactly. And then you can see up at the top here, we have different options. And this has, of course, it has upgraded options. You can get more stuff if you pay, but you can add colors to it. See, these are the paid ones. Go away. So you can play with all that stuff, but you can just load pictures in right from your camera. I feel like every time I come in here, it asks me if I want to give access to my, I'm just going to do a bunch of quotes. Come on, there we go. And then I can drag and drop it where I want it. And you can, do filters on there. You can do all kinds of stuff. Move it around inside the box. And so then you can download that whole thing as one image. Okay, so that one didn't quite fit, but that's okay. You guys understand the concept of that, right? And I can play around with where I want it, again, the different aspects.
There's so many apps, you don't know where to start.
I know, that's why I just like showing you, maybe there's something you're working on. That something like this will come in handy, so you can, play with the ratios and then export it when you're ready. I wouldn't share that as is, but now you guys kind of see how it all works. And you can see, you can go straight to them, or you can just add it to your phone and then manually push it through. Go ahead, ask your question.
So would you use, are you using Buffer across the platform, so you wouldn't have to use like Later for Instagram or things like that? You're doing it in one place rather than 5?
Yeah, so if it depends, like I said, it really depends on what platforms you're using. So I don't think LinkedIn has built-in scheduling. I've never used it. If they did, they might. But like Facebook business pages, you can schedule in groups. You can schedule with Later to Instagram. However, it's limited. You only get 30 uploads a month, and it's only still images for their free version. So I was running a Facebook page, a business page, a LinkedIn page, and an Instagram. And I was spending more time scheduling than actually like creating the content. So I decided it was worth the money to go ahead and pay for a Buffer. I think it's like $10 or $15 a month. And now I do it all in one spot, and I create one post and I say I want it to go to these 3 pages today. And it may, like, sometimes I don't post links on Instagram because they don't work there, but I also won't post an article that's for an agent on our public business page. I'll post that, in our private group page, Facebook group, and on LinkedIn. So I can do the same post to the different places at the same time. And I also have the ability to customize it. So if I have the same image that I'm putting in all 3 spots, but I want to put a different message in it, I can customize the message for all 3 platforms all at the same time. Or I can change the hashtags, stuff like that. So
if the agent has the account, I'm assuming it might have to be a pro account, but then an assistant or a VA could do that on your behalf?
Oh yeah. Yep. absolutely.
They wouldn't be doing it from their own login. They'd be doing it from the agent's login. Is that right?
Yeah, so you would link all of your accounts to Buffer or whatever third-party platform you're using. And so you would log in to that platform with your accounts, not the admin's accounts. And then they could run all of that for you through your one platform. And then Heather said, do you know if you can link a bunch of videos together to do a time lapse? I'm actually not sure. I know I don't have my phone up on the screen. Let me see if it lets me. No, at least not in this app. It's just the only options I have are to record out or to record in, and that's it. There's no like stitching options. I'm sure there's things out there that you can do that with, but just not that specific app. That's a good question. All right. I think I got all the questions in the chat. You guys, we covered a bunch of apps today. Anything, tell me what you think you're going to go out and use. Was there anything new? Was there stuff that you've already seen? What did you like about today?
I like the hashtag expert. I have a few other apps that I have downloaded, but I've never taken the time related to go through them and see what's best about them. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll just start with the hashtag expert and then go from there.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I showed you guys a lot of stuff. I'm not saying that you need to use all of this, and absolutely you could probably tell that you could totally get lost playing around with these, like just lose yourself in them for hours. So please make sure you're putting a time stipulation on how long you're spending on these, because the whole point is to make this quick and go and get it out, right? I don't want you to lose your time on these graphics and updating this stuff when you guys can be in appointments or lead generating, stuff like that, right? This is just meant to be, you know, I have some downtime and I know that, you know, I was planning to put this post out. How can I do it quickly and on the go? Heather put in the chat, I like the business suite and the hashtag expert. This is great. Thank you. I'm glad that you are, I hope you know, go apply that to your business and start checking out your analytics. That's a big part of social media, not just doing the posting, but seeing what's working and, you know, tweaking it to get more engagement and more leads. So I'm glad you like that business suite, and that's a free one. So I like that one a lot too. Any other questions today? What was it? Can everybody put what their favorite thing was in the chat? I'm just curious to see what you guys like the most. So we did Typorama, Font Candy, Canva. We talked about Buffer. We did the business suite, Hyperlapse, Boomerang. What else did we talk about? We did a lot. I'm looking at my phone. We did the pick stitch, the pick collage. Let me know in the comments what your favorite was. Then I'll know what to keep talking about with other people. Business suite. All right, good. Lots of business suites. Typorama, Buffer. Does anybody use Canva Pro? Is anybody interested in using Canva Pro?
I like Canva. I just don't want to pay for Canva Pro when we have command and everything. I just kind of go between the two.
If anybody is thinking of using Canva Pro, I just put my affiliate link in the chat. I would love to have you use that. I do have a pro account just because I'm very heavily using that stuff, and I like all the extra features and the organization of it. But just like Jackie was saying, there's so much stuff in command. So definitely make sure you check that out before you decide to pay for any supplemental marketing tools, because we want to keep your costs down. Patty said she's been considering it but hasn't pulled the trigger. Paulette loves it. Yep, there's lots of fun things. Well, since there's so many Canva users on here, I'm going to share a secret with you. If you guys haven't heard of it, you should definitely go check out their Facebook group called Canva for Real Estate Agents, because people share templates all the time there that you can actually just import into your account and then match your branding to them or tweak it. So Canva for Real Estate Agents is a great group on Facebook. Yeah, see, look at all these fun little nuggets you got today.
I'm a big part of those kinds of groups because it's people from all over the country. So you get things that you wouldn't necessarily get with just your local group,
Mhm.
just new ideas.
Yeah, and that group in particular, there are Canva employees that run it in there, so they'll do some training and stuff in there as well. So it's a great little resource. Lots of inspiration, lots of trainings, and it's just very collaborative. So it's a group I definitely recommend. Check it out. Well, that puts us at it's 2:54. So unless you guys have any other questions, I'm going to wrap this up because I do have a 3 o'clock appointment. And I know we have another class at 3 here. I'm not 100% sure if my class is going to be happening next week or not. We actually have an awards banquet going on in my office. So if I do the class next week, it'll be at a different time. But all of you guys here will get an email next Tuesday with this recording, and it will let you know what's going on with my next class. And if I do go forward, next week is going to be, I had a request for direct mail, some more information on how to use the direct mail feature of Command. So we'll go over that for my next class. I will see you guys all later. Thank you so much for coming. And remember, we do have Command on Demand 9 times throughout the week. I know we didn't talk a lot about Command today, but if you guys have Command questions, whether you're just not sure how to do something or you're using it and something doesn't seem to be working right, come on into our Command on Demand sessions and we will help troubleshoot that with you or show you where the buttons are that you can't find. You can just go to etopsuccess.com, etopsuccess.com to get the full schedule and the links for that. And there's a bunch of us that host those different sessions. So we'd love to have you there too. All right, you guys.
Great job.
Great day. Oh, thank you.
As always.
Thanks, Patty.
Sure.
Thank you.
A wonderful day. Thank you all for coming. And always feel free to reach out and let me know what other classes you're interested in seeing. I'm happy to put stuff together. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, what market center are you from? Or are you not?
Merrimack Valley.
Can you email me, amystack@etopsuccess.com?
Yep. Can you put that in the chat so I can just copy it real quick?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
Awesome. Let me copy it. All right. Great. Thank you. All
All right, we'll talk later. Have a good one.
right. You too.
Bye.